All right. Hopefully, all that is watching this video, hopefully, you're doing well. I'm getting better day by day. It's probably going to be what I have come to a conclusion to that recovering from being falsely accused is pretty much a endless process. You really never get over it. It's always there, just little things that will trigger that remind you of all the BS that you had to go through. Just like I had a client that had issues with their internet. And if this client is actually watching this video for any reason, I'm sorry, but facts are facts. And it's just human nature that people want to falsely accuse somebody of something that they did not do and has nothing to do with it. Had a client that kept on having internet issues, according to them. I went there only 4 times in like a year and a half and actually fixed their issue each time. And it was a different issue. It was a wire, router, whatever. But it didn't put them out of commission, but for like 1 or 2 days, because that's the time it took me to actually get there. Especially if Sunday falls in them days. I'm like, I don't do nothing on Sundays. But they said they had buffering issues for like 4 or 5 days. And I kept telling everybody, sending out emails, that it's not my equipment. It's the ones that we have a connection to that is having issues that's causing our equipment to lose connection to other networks. Everybody was okay with that, except this one. They want to blame our equipment, and it's all nothing but us or me that's causing the issue. They wouldn't accept that it was not any of my equipment beyond my control of actually fixing something that was not mine. And they told a neighbor, when this neighbor said they got the email saying what the issue was. Apparently, the one that's complaining don't watch and look at their emails because they would got the same information. They told the neighbor, the ones that's complaining told their neighbor that told me that, well, they all say that just so they won't take the blame. They all say it's not their fault. That's pretty much accusing me again for something that I didn't do. And also, it's flat out telling me that indirectly that I'm a liar. And believe me, it took every ounce of restraints that I have for myself to not go off on that person for doing that. I had to be professional, I had to be calm. But I had my mind of going on a rampage within itself. And I've never had that to happen before until this up here actually happened. Before all that happened, for them 500 some days, somebody would blame me, say it's my fault, like in back in heating and air. I go fix a unit, and then a week or week and a half later, something goes wrong, and the AC stops again. In their eyes, the AC stopped both times. But in my eyes, it was two different devices that caused it. And just because I fixed the first device, don't mean that I was physically or technology be able to diagnose that that part was going to go out in a week and a half. But in their eyes, it was my fault because I should caught that part that caused it to go out a week and a half later. Again, blaming me for something I have no control over, something that I didn't do, something I couldn't prevent. And before all this mess happened, when something like that happened, I just brush it off. Like, ma'am or sir, it's a different part, and there was no way to diagnose that it was going to go out and a week later, and I would just brush it off and go on my way. But since this BS happened, being falsely accused, anybody that falsely accuses me for any little thing, I get this, I don't know what to call it. It's like anxiety, like I just want to go over there and just slap them silly. But of course, I'm not going to. I never will. But that desire, because the backflashes of all that mess that went on, it brings up anger that I've never had before. Seeing people and hearing people telling you that they got falsely accused of something and got put in jail for a month or 2 months or 3 or 5 years for something, then come find out that they were not the ones that done it. I felt for them. I felt sorry for them. I wish there was something I can do, but I couldn't grasp the feeling that they had being in that position of falsely accused until I was. And it's something that I have come to learn that will always be with me. And I have to deal with it every time it comes up. There's nothing that can be done physically, medically, anything can be done to get around it. I come to a self boiling point quicker and escalated even more than I ever have before this mess happened. And I have to restrain myself even harder and faster so I won't do anything that I shouldn't do or shouldn't say. It's a challenge. But I know that my upbringing and the way of I live my life and all, I know it's not going to be an issue, but it's just when something like that happens, for the next few days, it just really sets on my mind and makes me just not want to do anything. I just want to sit and watch TV or watch videos here on YouTube. I just don't have the motivation to do anything. I've talked to professionals about it because I thought it may be depression or something that has a name that's in a category somewhere because, I've never had this kind of issue before. And come find out it's just life that, just the way the body and the brain works. And they said it's not depression or anything like that. It's just something that I'm just going to have to cope with. There's nothing that can be done about it. And they say the way I've been handling it is the best way to do it. And they say I've been very successful of handling it the way I have. So that was, I went there for like 3 months talking just to see if I can figure out why, or is there anything that can be done. They said, well, it's just something that, you know, your upbringing and everything else was not to ever be in that kind of situation, never do anything that would put you in a place like that. And you never did, which has been proven, and you got put there anyway. And it goes against everything that your upbringing and believing and everything. It goes against all of it. Like, you do all good and nothing should happen like that. That tragic. And it did. So it was a shock to your system. Now, if you were a criminal and whatnot and stealing and doing things you shouldn't do and you end up in jail, well, your system knew, back in the head, they say that, if I keep doing this, there's a chance that I just might get caught and I'll be put in jail. It wouldn't be a shock because, reality, you knew that that could happen. But being a goody two shoe, per se, putting it nicely, um, and something like that happens anyway, and you rely on your upbringing of not doing things that you shouldn't do because you're going to get caught and be locked up, and you pretty much believe in the um, court system, the legal system, that supposed to weed out the ones that is falsely accused a little quicker than 500 some days. Y'all need to work on that. I mean, you look at my record, which I didn't have one, my reputation, my personality, my way of life, whatever way you want to look at it, see that I'm not kind of person that would do a thing like that. But the legal system pretty much said, screw you, we're going to put you back there anyway. And that's a shock to a system when, you rely on them to be, get to justice. But we all know now, at least I do, that our legal system is all screwed up. It's not for the good guys be found innocent. It's just you're guilty until we can prove that you're not guilty. It's supposed to be you're innocent until we can prove you're guilty. That's the way it's supposed to be. But 500 some days sitting there, well, that was completely the opposite. You're guilty, and we're going to do whatever to keep you there until we can't prove you guilty, and then we're going to let you go home. That's not the way it's supposed to be. And the bond they had on me is, it was just ridiculous. Like I got a rap sheet, an arm long, which I didn't have anything. But being falsely accused and held for 500 some days in a maximum security in a place for something that you haven't done, something you would not even remotely think about doing, something that just makes your blood boil when you hear somebody that has done it, that you just want to go wring their neck. It's a crying shame that our legal system is holding people that is not guilty. Just sit there and hold them. And then trick the jury, or whatever word you want to use, to get them to convict a person that has not done anything wrong, or at least not what they are accused of. But after going through that, I find myself getting not more really angrier than normal. It's I get there just a little bit faster when somebody falsely accuses me or calls me a liar. When you get mad and you just feel your body kind of like warm up because you're like, you stupid, and then you just want to, you know, knock the heck out of them, knock them back to reality. I get to that point faster now because of all this BS. I don't act on it. I never will. So if you ever been falsely accused, rather if you've been in a place like this or not, if you get falsely accused of something, just remember you know what the truth is. And launching out violently, physically, is not going to fix the problem. It may actually escalate it even worse for yourself because you've done a violent act of some sort. You just have to look at the person, be nice. I found the best thing to do for myself now, I'd rather this works for you or not, is when somebody falsely accuses you of something or calls you a liar directly to you or indirectly to you. If it's indirectly, somebody says that this person said something, it's hearsay. So I take it with a big bottle of salt, not a grain of salt, but I take it with a whole bottle of salt because I don't know, because that person that's telling me that may have a beef with that person. So they may be launching out to make me angry at that person as well, even more than I am already. I don't even analyze that at all. I just like, okay, and just let it be. But when a person does it directly, then I take it real serious. And in this incident, this person that accusing me, it's my fault, it's my equipment, everything, they were very kind when they handed me my equipment. They just kept saying, well, it's been buffering for like the last 4 days. I said, well, I sent an email to everybody saying that it's not our equipment. It's, the ones that we're connected to because they had to replace equipment. And I said, anybody can call and give them that address where that equipment is and say, yes, there was a repair done. It's verified. It's simple as that. So I'm not really angry with that person. It's just, it just, it just kind of boggles my mind why somebody would have an issue and not ask for it to be fixed and just do away with the service. I don't know why. But the issue I had, the company that we get our connection to, is the one that person got service with now. And that company is having upgrades done in the area. So when mine goes out, theirs is going to go out too because the whole area is going out. And it's already done that twice since they switched over. And it's been less than 2 weeks. I was tempted to ask them, I said, did y'all's go out yesterday about 3 o'clock? Because that's when everybody go up. Because I got pretty good knowing the technicians, and they have the app or whatever it is on their phones to check certain addresses or whatever they want to, analyze. Like if they're working on this address, they can look at the next door neighbor on both sides and see if they had any dropouts or whatever. It's just a matter of putting in the address. And I told them to let me know if the whole area is out. And they said, well, we got it now that if the internet's not working, log into your account and it'd be a big red bar across your page saying there's trouble in the area. That means everybody in that area, at least on that street that you're on, is having the same issue that you have. So that tells me right there, when mine goes out and I got that red bar, that means theirs is out too, because it's on the exact same line, which is about 400 feet, but it's on the same main trunk line. So they're going to learn for at least for the next year, because they always get that promotional for the first 12 months. They're going to learn that it was not mine. It's the ones that I get connection to. So they're still going to have issues of it dropping out, and they're going to call them, I guess, and fuss them out. And who they going to go with then? There is nobody else there. That's it. Unless they go with satellite, which they really going to fuss about buffering on that one, because they watch TV basically 25/8. Yeah, I know it's only 24/7, but they really burn it up. They pretty much turn TV on and leave it on all the time. So if they go satellite, they're going to go through the data before the month's up. But some people like that is just, they have issues in their life and they got to take it out on somebody. They got to blame somebody for something, even though it's not that person's fault. And the people that's getting falsely accused, like myself, I just have to kind of brush it off, understand that they got some issues in their lives and they just going to take it out on whoever. And I just have to be nice, take my equipment, and move on. Because, yeah, that might be a monthly fee that I'm getting to run the business. Not for myself, it just runs the business. Because I can close the doors on all of it and I can just sit at home. Because I worked my butt off doing heating and air for, 25, 30 years. And as they would say, I made bank. Let's put it that way. And I can just sit home and just make videos, 5, 6 times a day. But I want to do something to get me out and mingle with others. I like meeting new people. So them kind of people that has issues in their lives and they just want to blame other people for something maybe they done or some issues they have in their life, and they got to get their anger out and they take it out on other people. Usually that's the issue. I don't mind losing that little bit of pocket change, because the headaches that I will lose that goes along with it is priceless. Losing a little bit of revenue, that's fine, because when I lost that one, I've already gained 3 within 48 hours. Within 48 hours, I've already got 3 more clients that got connected. That when I went and got the equipment from that residence, within 48 hours, I had them, 3 or 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 clients to get connected. So I gained more than I lost. But losing the revenue is not the issue. The issue is losing all that headache of texting and emailing and phone calls and whatnot. Losing it, priceless. I've only had 3 people that just fly off the handle per se, kept saying it's my fault, service is bad. But they had it for one of them had it for over 2 years, and then it messes up for a week, and I sent an email and saying equipment needs to be fixed because it needs to be replaced, and it's been ordered. So 4 or 5 days it should be here and fixed. Didn't have any issues for the year and a half to 2 years, but when it messes up for 4 days because the equipment needs to be replaced, makes no sense. They can't understand, comprehend. It's electronics. It just goes belly up sometimes. But that's just the kind of headaches I don't want. I don't want to deal with it. I want people that thinks rationally, that is actually living in reality. And if any of them sees this video, don't care. I'm just move on and drink more coffee. You could say whatever. You could say whatever you want. It won't bother me. But if you go around and say the service is bad and try to give my hobby a bad reputation, well, let me just give you a little hint. It's called slander. So think about that. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You won't be the first I put on the list of that and actually went through all the legal system with it. And I won every one of them. It was only 3, but I won every one of them. So if you want to be number 4, go ahead. I got to the point in my life after all this mess that I will be Mr. Nice Guy when it's necessary. But if you do things and try to hinder and try to interrupt my life, I'll come after you. All legal. I will come after you. I don't bite my tongue as much as I used to. I used to just bite my tongue like, heck with you and just, go on. But no, I'll come back at you. Just like some that had the equipment on their RV and they left with the equipment. They thought they were going to get away with it. Nope. Because when you go in an RV park, they get all your information, your home address, and everything else. So they got all your information. I go in there and get all that information and go down to police department, sheriff department, whichever it takes in your town and file papers and take your butt to court. And you won't be just giving me my equipment back or reimburse me for my equipment. It's my travel expense if I have to, court costs. So it's best not to take my equipment. Just because you buy an RV and it's got the equipment on it don't mean you brought that equipment. Some people just not thinking. I just don't understand how some people think. More directly, it's some people just don't think. I just know that if you ever been falsely accused of anything, rather you got behind here of any city or town or whatever, don't let it get to you. You may get mad and just get huffy and puffy and all, but just remember, don't give them a reason to accuse you of something you actually did. And I found the best thing for myself, as I say, whether it works for you or not, is anybody that falsely accuses me of something and has nothing to back it up with, just their allegations, their butt hurt feelings, I just cut them out of my life. And I don't care who you may be. And I mean, you have to do it hard. If it's somebody that you have been friends with for 10, 20, 30, since high school, I don't care. Cut them out of your life. They're no value. I mean, even if it's a family member, cut them out. If they want to talk to you, they'll call you. Cut out the bad bruise or thorn out of your side or whatever you want to call it, and whatever, way you want to look at it, because you're the one that's got to live your life, not them. So do what it takes to make your life better. If it's cutting out an old friend, well, so be it. You don't have to cut them out completely, like not ever talk to them. You just don't associate with them by calling them or whatever. If you need help, don't call them, regardless. Because then they'll try to say, well, I helped you back in such, such, such. Now I need your help. It'll be a lot of headache. Best just to cut it out and go on with your life. But I tell you what, after something like this for 500 some days, it makes life hard. I'm surprised that it didn't put me in depression that I just couldn't get out of. But I've never went into it. I thought that's what it was, the way I felt and what I've heard and read about depression and everything. I said, that's got to be what I got. That must be what's going on. Come find out it's not. It's just my upbringing and everything the way it was. And then something happened that shouldn't have happened. That was what was the big shock to my system. It's like if you do all good and everything and you stay out of trouble and all and everything should be fine. Well, it done the very opposite. And my system just kind of like, what? And like, what's going on? This is not the way it's supposed to work. And I'm got it now. I'm to the point now that I do get angry faster over things, but it's to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm almost back to the point where I can de-escalate it as just about as fast as it escalated. I just, I just walk off and drink a little bit of coffee and don't say nothing to the person or whatever, and just let my system kind of cool off and just go on and just take that person in like they don't exist anymore. Get rid of the headache. That's almost like paying somebody, like, you're a headache in my life. I'm going to pay you to leave me alone. A little hush hush money. Just leave me alone. I'm going to lose that per month. The hobby is going to lose that per month, but I'm going to lose the headache along with it. The money is not everything. A stress free life, or as much stress free as possible in this world with all the BS that's going on. I don't even watch the news anymore. It's depressing. I just stopped watching, even on YouTube, some individual journalist I used to watch that pretty much tells it the way it is and shows it the way it is. Not just by saying what they think and everything. They have video to actually back it up. I don't even watch them anymore. I turn off the bell notifications. I still follow them, but I don't get the notifications anymore. I just turned it all off. I don't watch the news. If news or anything comes on TV, because I still watch TV over there, they're going to have commercials on advertisement, whatever. If it does, blink, change. I don't even watch it. I just stay away from the news and just live my life away from all that BS, stressful nonsense that's been going on. for 2 years now. And we got 2 more years of the BS, but it's getting turned around slowly, but it's getting turned around. And then this indictment and all this, that's just another attempt to cripple somebody and keep them from doing what the other side don't want them to do, you know. They've been doing that for 6+ years, and it failed every time, and it's going to fail this time. But that's another whole different story, and I got a channel for that, but I haven't got myself to the point where I have the time to actually execute videos on that channel. But I will. And I have another person that is interested in buying one of the RV parks of the internet part. And if that happens, you'll see that on the other channel. But live your life as stress free as possible. Don't let other people run your life by falsely accusing you of something that you know good and well that you had nothing to do with. You had no control over it. Don't let it get to you. Get them people out of your life. And let them say whatever they want to say to anybody. Just get away from them. Because they are not worth your time. Life is short enough as it is. We don't need to have any of it ruined by somebody's BS. Even though we always have to deal with the BS when we go to the gas pump. I mean, just like 3 days ago, went to a gas pump and the gas was $3.19. I went and got $10, $15 of it yesterday, 3 days later, and it's $3.49 at the exact same gas station. It's ridiculous. And the summer's coming, so it's probably going to go up. Supply and demand. But that's all I have for this video here. I know it's been a while since I made one, but I'm trying my best to get to the point where I can force myself to get behind the camera here and the microphone and make the videos. But until next time, look at the people that's in your life that has accused you of things, but you keep letting them be in your life, part of it. And just think, if this person was not in my life, accusing me here and there or fussing about, disagreeing with me on this and that and whatnot, how better your life would be. Think about it. Give it a shot. Believe me, I did, and I'm grateful that I do each and every time. I'm not, all Mr. Nice Guy of, I'll let you get by with this time. Nope, no more of that. None. Now, if I know a person that's having issues in their lives, something that they have no control over, whatever. Now, that is really not their fault. They just angry about something very serious. Like I've had one that, they had a death in the family and they just, they were mad at everybody. It didn't matter who you were or what you did or what you didn't do. They just going to be mad at everybody. Them people, I sympathize with them because, you have somebody pass away in your family. I've had family members pass, my sister, my grandparents, and both of my parents. I can sympathize with that, and that kind of that changes everything. And I try to sit and talk with them. And sometimes in in the past with these some of the clients, they have issues, and I get to know them pretty, on a personal level. And they see me in the park and ask me, say, "Can you come over?" Yeah, and we'll sit down and they'll make a pot of coffee. They all know I love coffee, so you offer me coffee, yeah, I'm coming to sit on your porch, and we'll sit there for 30 minutes to 3 hours at times, just talking about whatever they want to talk about. They just want to have somebody to talk to about whatever, and some of them will sit there and talk, and it makes them feel better when to have somebody that is willing to just sit there, and I have that time. That's what I like about being retired. I don't have to clock in, clock out, be somewhere, whatever. Yeah, them people sometimes they'll blow up and say something to me, whatever, out of anger of something else that's going on, but I see why, because I got to know them. But for the people that just wants to flat out accuse you of something, that or blame you or call you a liar, oh, they all say that just so they don't have to take the blame. Well, that's flat out telling you that they're calling you a liar. They're angry. Yes, of course they're angry. Something's not working. But don't blame somebody. Say, can you fix it? You just have to brush them off and go on, cut them out if they just want to be jerks for no reason. Some people get mad about something and they'll take it out on everybody, blame everybody else, when most likely it's probably their fault. I've had it where they said it's my equipment, it's messing up, it's their, it's my fault, my fault, my fault. Come find out they done something and messed up the wire that we installed, and that's their fault, not ours, even though they want to say it's ours. I mean, it's different things that they want to blame somebody else for. But you just have to be um, the bigger person and handle the situation and kindly, without them really knowing that you're telling them goodbye, because they have no reason to call me now unless they want to swallow their pride and apologize and get our service back, which before that, if we've had, hasn't done that. But it hadn't been a year since they got the service because they are still in that promotion. But I hate to tell them the promotion they got is going to go up $30 after a year. So it's going to go from, I think it's $49.99. So it's $50. It's going to go up to $80. And they're not going to get any more speed or anything else. It's going to be just $30. So it's going to be $80 more, or $80 total. It's going to be $30 more, but $80, almost $100 after you add the tax and fees and everything. So it's going to be almost $90 a month to do the exact same thing that they were paying 33 or 40 something for, and the price will never go up. What can you do except, sorry, pick up your equipment, be nice, and just walk away? I know this is a long video, but that's what this channel is about. Just an open book of before, during, and after of falsely accused. And I still need to get up with coffee shops or whatever places and do some book signings. Trying to do that. It's just a lot to do. I've been watching the grandkids, which I love watching the grandkids. We pretty much got them, 3 to 5 days a week now because the schedule that mom and daddy has, which I don't mind because we could still fill them up with sugar and send them home. But just don't let people control your life. Keep control of your life. Keep control of your desire to lash out to them physically, verbally, whatever you want to do. Just take a deep breath and walk away. That's all you can really do. So until next video, which I'm going to try to do this on a weekly basis. I got it scheduled as a weekly thing, but I just hadn't been doing it. But I'm going to try my best. And now YouTube has podcasts. So I'm going to start doing it. So just look in the description below this video and get all the information from down there that will show you where else I'm at, other channels I have on YouTube. But until then, stay less anger, be vigilant, and live a good life. The one that you can enjoy and not letting others control it.